Welcome to the borough of Myerstown, Pennsylvania, a proud town built on community spirit and enjoying its sesquicentennial in 2018. That's officially 250 years. Join us now for our celebration. How do you know you've arrived in Myerstown? Well, that's easy. Just look for this giant water tower at the intersection of routes 501 and 422. Stick around. One of our proud Myerstown citizens is going to show you something amazing. A World War II pilot named Bob Brocklehurst will perform aerobatic maneuvers in a small plane to honor the sesquicentennial. By the way, Bob is now 98 years old. Before he takes off, let's look at some of the people and places that have made Myerstown so special. In 1768, a local citizen named Isaac Meyer organized the town with its first street layout. His homestead still exists today as you see it. The town officially was named Myerstown in 1770 to honor Mr. Meyer after his untimely death. He was shot and killed by an unidentified assailant in this tavern. Myerstown history is sprinkled with unique businesses like Jacob Bainey's Horse Hospital, and today the Myerstown site of Bayer Consumer Health, one of the largest in our local business community. There were interesting citizens like Charles Pop Kelchner, a baseball coach for the Albright College and later a scout for the St. Louis Cardinals. His keen eye for talent discovered the great Stan the Man Musial. Myerstown has always been known for friendly local citizens, like these men who enjoyed hanging out at the local cigar store. There is so much more of Myerstown than we can tell you here. Just visit our website, myerstownpa.org. Well, we're almost ready for Bob and his co-pilot to climb aboard this high-winged decathlon stunt plane and take to the skies. But first, some brief personal background. Bob was born and raised in Michigan. He graduated from flight school in 1941. He proudly served as a combat pilot in World War II. Bob and his wife Lillian were married 63 years before she passed away in 2005. They had 4 children, 9 grandchildren, 18 great-grandchildren, and 3 great-great-grandchildren. Now, let's all watch Bob fly for the borough of Myerstown. We call it Myerstown Flight 250. Professional air show flight announcer Larry Rutt with the call.
Bob wanted to be a fighter pilot, and in 1941 he earned his wings flying fighters in World War II and on up through Korea, flying the F-86 Sabre jet.
There's nothing like it. I wanted to fly since I was a kid. It's just like driving a car or riding a bicycle. If you like it and want to do it, it's great. We're part of the celebration for the Myerstown 250th anniversary. Great town, and I'm glad to be part of the show.
Are you ready, Bob?
I'm ready.
Bob starts the engine under the watchful eye of Zach Hurst, an aerobatic instructor pilot, and taxis out for takeoff. Bob hasn't flown in over 2 years, but you'd never know it from his smooth handling of the decathlon on takeoff and climb out, looking straight ahead, with an occasional glance at the instruments. Bob climbs to 2,500 feet to fly some aerial acrobatics we call aerobatics. Now watch as Bob moves the stick to his left and slowly rolls the airplane all the way around at about 120 miles an hour. Diving to get more speed, Bob pulls the nose up and flies a great big barrel-rolled stick and rudder, constantly changing throughout. Now wings level, Bob lets his speed build up to over 160 miles an hour because he's going to fly a loop, and as he pulls the nose on up to the vertical, he's pulling 4 times the force of gravity, 4 Gs, to get the airplane over on its back with enough speed to float over the top at 40 miles an hour. Watch as he pulls up for another loop. After they're straight up, Bob tilts his head back to see the ground returning to view in the transparent roof and to check his wings level across the top of the loop. Letting the nose drop down, Bob pulls 4 more Gs to start another loop. That means Bob's own weight increased by a factor of 4. Bob now weighs 800 pounds. one last looping figure. This time a half loop with a half roll on top. This is a World War I fighter pilot maneuver called an Immelmann. For today, we say farewell to the amazing Bob Brocklehurst. But as his co-pilot Zach Hurst said, Bob flies like he's been flying all his life. Well, he has.
Well, when they called me last February, and I had flown a P-51 in February of 2016, they asked if I would do some acrobatics for the 250th anniversary. And I said, well, if it'll help the anniversary, I'd be glad to. I love being upside down in an airplane or doing whatever you can do in them. And I said, well, sir, if you want me to, I'll be happy to do it. Yeah, I was surprised. There was 5 TV organizations down there taking pictures and a lot of questions. Zach texted it out, and as we start going down the runway, he said, put your feet on the rudder pedals, and I did. He gets it straight going down the runway at takeoff speed. He said, now take control, and when it's ready to lift off, you can feel it, take it off, and started climbing at 1,000 feet. And I thought that was an awful lot of trust in him in that light airplane, which I was familiar with the light airplanes so much as I was the heavier fighters. Great little airplane, great instructor, and we did 2 or 3 loops and an Immelmann and dives, and it was great. And on my birthday, which was July the 17th, 3 weeks later, they were still on the radio, and they were just wishing me on the TV, and they were wishing me happy birthday. I got letters from several people all around the country that I didn't know, wanting autographs, wanting pictures, sent me pictures of a P-40, would I please autograph that and send it back to them? And it's been like, and I'm still getting them. I used to be just plain Bob Brocklehurst. Now I don't know what to do. And I found the people just great, the business people just straightforward and good business people, and it's been a pleasure to do business, and I do everything that I can do with the business people in Myerstown because they're honestly great, good people, helpful people.